The simple fact is that, you know, for years we accepted that there was criticism, and justly so, about things like our website, which we knew needed revamping and was quite poor. There was very little information about who we are when you go on the site to try and find out if you're an applicant or a corporate client looking to do business with us. We also recognized that in the days of, or I guess in the new, you know, digital media era, that we needed to move on in leaps and bounds. You know, the original Cobra site, I think, was probably put up 10 years ago, and I don't think it's changed much since then. But the world has changed enormously. And like all other companies that really, really want to enhance their brand globally, we had to move with the times, and we now have. The simple fact is that as of Monday morning at 9 o'clock in the morning, in each country around the world, and this is literally going to be launched hour by hour from 10 o'clock at Sunday night, my Cobra staff are going to be working all through the night, virtually from 10 o'clock on Sunday, launching the brand, the website, the stationery, everything that's going with it, and that's going to be launched all around the world on an hour-by-hour basis as each country wakes up in the morning. The entire global business is being rebranded, and as I said, within APCO, instead of us being support direct, will now be APCO Group fundraising or APCO Group support. And then, you know, there'll be sports, APCO, I'm trying to train myself to say this, APCO Group sports, there'll be APCO Group pro sales, there'll be APCO Group energy. And in each country, there'll be individual websites in a local language for each person regarding every division that we're in and every country we're in. So not only will it make the website have much more global appeal, it'll also mean as we move around the globe, people will be able to get information about us everywhere we go. The first thing I'd like to do, obviously, is show you the Cobra Group website, which is now the new front page of Cobra Group, and what it will look like. When you go onto the main landing page, which I think you guys have seen, but was probably behind me. Don't go back, Neil. It's okay. He did go back. You'll land there, and you can pick and choose if you want to go to the APCO group of companies or to the Cobra Group. If you go to the Cobra Group first, what you'll see is very quickly that there's a whole section on both the Cobra. Very quickly. Thank you. So if you go there, what you'll see is there's all the other company names, of which you can only see half of them, and everything from what APCO Group does, CRS, Get Covered, the insurance company, Promos Direct, which is a field marketing business we now own in Australia, to people like Tech Protect, APG, First Folio, the mortgage businesses, and other insurance companies. You'll be able to get complete corporate profiles on everything we do in all of our related businesses around the world. More importantly for you guys, what you'll also be able to do, like I said, is see live news stories. So things that are happening, whether it's news stories about what we do in energy, or news stories that are being printed in the press, or stories that are being written out in magazines and on the web all over the world, will now be accessible through this site. The other thing that you'll be able to do is get a lot more information about some of the corporate backgrounds about Cobra Group's activities around the world. More appropriately for you guys, which is the more important bit, is what we want to show you is the new APCO Group website, because what APCO Group's going to do will blow your mind. So if we can just move on to the APCO Group website fairly quickly. There we go. Right, this is the front page now of the APCO Group website. What you will notice is there's some feature stories. These websites now are live, meaning, and I'm going to show you some really interesting stuff that you'll see in a minute, we have a press office that's been engaged both here in London, there's one in Southeast Asia, there's going to be one in India, one in Australia, and soon to be obviously one in the Americas, which will be writing stories and finding content about who we are and what we do, and making sure they're up and live and online. One of the things that we have combated and are still combating is our online reputation. The fact is, when we talk to people in the business community, their story to us is, you guys are the world's best kept secret. You do hundreds of amazing projects. You raise money in the hundreds of millions of dollars. You build companies into billion-dollar businesses. You change people's lives. You create opportunity for your people, and no one knows who you are. And unfortunately, as you guys are aware, what does happen is there's always the dissenting voice that gets online and says, I think they're crap. I don't like these guys. I went in the field and I didn't do well, so the whole company's a bag of shit, basically. Being honest, let's call a spade a spade. And unfortunately for us, that's very frustrating, because we don't think that's a very relative view to what we really are. So the idea of having our own content that not only will be put on the site by us, but also, and more importantly, can be put on the site by you. This site is interactive and it will be live. And I'm going to ask everybody now to move on a little bit onto the rest of this. I'll start to show you a little bit about what we do. Number one, it'll split down into each country, each division. There'll be stories on there from our clients. There'll be statistics about what we do. You'll be able to show your parents and friends and family with much more confidence about what you're involved in. It will help you in your recruiting process as an owner because it'll give you a lot more information to be able to provide to people, and it'll give them a lot more background as to what we do and what we're doing on a global scale. There'll be a Q and answer area to it. You'll be able to make inquiries on the site. You'll be able to communicate through it to other people, and eventually there'll even be online forums and membership areas where people will be able to communicate together all over the world. We're not trying to create a social networking site. What we're trying to create is a site where APCO and Cobra Group's overall efforts and our brand is represented both properly and informatively on a global scale. So that's going to make a huge difference. The other and most important part of this is a live news site. So as stories are happening day to day all over the world, remember Cobra, for all intents and purposes, or now APCO Group, is a 24-hour-a-day business. When we're sleeping, somebody in Australia is in the field, and when they're asleep, we're in the field, or somebody in America or somewhere now will be in the field virtually 24 hours a day. And there's great stories that happen at local level, at office level, about our companies, about our partners all over the world that nobody ever hears about. Ironically, the people that do hear about them is generally the five of us, because we're the ones that are traveling or have organizations that span the globe. The rest of you guys often sit, I wouldn't say in the dark, but somewhat uninformed at how many great things are going on around the world that you guys simply never get access to, or unless you hear them secondhand 3, 4, 5, 6 months down the road, or at a rally like this. This will allow you to keep up to date with the news and stories of the company on a live basis every single day. Eventually, eventually all of the Cobra Connect business, which is the idea of making all of the back office of Cobra for the offices electronic, that will be part of the website. All of Cobra Live, which right now is an access-only area for the owners, the vast majority of that will now go on a public site. So even things like having a leader promoted in their morning meeting, you'll be able to have it live on the website in 20 minutes. So that way you'll be able to say, hey, look, Mom, Dad, I got promoted this morning. I'm on my way to the field. Go onto this website, and you'll be able to see my promotion. And I'll show you right now how we're going to do that. We have our own app. Which is just pretty cool, I have to say. It's just really cool. We have our own app. You'll be able to go on there. You'll be able to see all the top stories that are being posted online from all over the globe. You'll get access to it. Certain parts of it will be members only, there's no question, because it'll be for owners gaining information. Other parts of it will be completely in the public domain. The second part of it, and where we need your help, and what we want you guys to do, is to get actively involved. And that is that you're now going to be able to load your own stories. So if somebody's getting promoted, if people are doing things in the field, guys, I've been to a meeting, it's been amazing. You've gone to a rally, you've been, something's happened in an office that you want told about, you're going to be able to take a photograph or a video, write your own story, it'll get sent to the press office, it will be vetted, there's no question. We're not going to have people, some guy just says, oh, I'm just going to call everybody a bunch of idiots. That won't go online, I can assure you. But the positive stories that go on there will be put online, and you will be able to literally start writing and be your own journalists within the APCO Group around the world. Inevitably, what we're going to have is literally 12,000 people contributing to content about what we do. Everything about what's going on around the globe, about great things going on in offices, great things going on in divisions, and we want you guys to be a big part of this. This will be live as of Monday morning. The app, I don't believe, will be available for everybody on Monday, but certainly over the next week or two, the app will roll out, and then people will be getting notification of access and how to do it and all that stuff that goes with it. But the website and all the rest of it will be live on Monday, and we hope you guys not only use the website, but talk about it. We want it to get out there. We want people to start hearing about the great stuff that we do. We want people to know who we are. We don't want to be sitting there in the background anymore saying, hey, we're just going to tell each other. We want the world to know what a great job we do as a company, and we want to be out there. And as we've said, for years, the best defense, as you know, is a good offense, and rather than just sitting there and letting people say what they like about us, hey, why don't we say a little bit about ourselves for a change and talk about all the good stuff that goes on around the world and make ourselves really proud, okay?